Preparing for USC, obviously, this week. What are you guys seeing from them defensively, and how are you guys counteracting that?
They definitely got a whole bunch of ball players. Got a great defense. Got somebody I think we all know too. My boy over there, and they just got excellent players. They do a couple things. They got some stunts and they got some blitzes that we got to be sharp on. But definitely a good football team.
They've been really good at forcing turnovers. Have you guys talked about trying to stay away from that and not play to that sort of strength?
Not to, my bad interrupting you, but definitely every week try to play clean ball. That's something you definitely notice on the tape. They get a lot of turnovers. Like I said, the defense is very well taught. They're very quick to the ball. So when you got guys that are like that, you end up with the ball in your hands. So, definitely preach every week to be clean and just try to play the smartest football.
They got a crazy number of sacks, I think 14 throughout 4 games. Is there really the pressure with the front four? Is it more the linebackers and safeties are creating that?
I mean, like I was saying, they have good players. When you have good players and you do stunts and you do certain things, you're going to get to the quarterback sometimes. You got to do your best job to block those things up and do it well. And I think Coach Cav's doing a great job this week with us.
What do you think that road game in Oklahoma State taught you as you take to the road now again this Saturday?
Just be poised. Just be poised on the road. Obviously, stick to the game plan, execute. Don't ever let the moment get to you. The moment's never too big. Just at the end of the day, you just go out and execute.
In terms of getting the running game back on track, obviously it was a struggle against Utah. What do you guys think you need to do in order to sort of, again, get that back on track?
Just go back to the basics, stick to the fundamentals, really keying in on the things that we needed to work on and making the corrections in film on Sunday. Just making sure we get back on track because obviously we want to be able to run the ball because that opens up a lot more other things for the offense. So,
I mean, with suffering such as disappointing loss at home, is it sometimes good to be on the road where it's just really just more business focused, less distractions and whatnot?
I mean, I know getting the win is getting the win. And I know we all feel like that. Obviously, it's nice to be at home and everybody cheering you on and everything, but I think getting the win is getting the win no matter what environment you're in. I've always been, me personally, I've always been someone who's liked the away games, but I just think getting the win is getting the win. That's what we want to do. We want to go 1-0 this week.
So it's something we said about just being like more focused, less distractions on the road, that sometimes it can bring the best out of a player?
I believe so. If you put it like that, yeah.
Being under duress as much as Emory was, especially against not only Utah but also Oklahoma State, going back to that game, talked a little bit about the sacks that USC's been able to generate. Is there anything different you guys are talking about to try and make sure that you guys are handling that aspect as best as possible and improving in that area?
I mean, I think we stick to our game plan. Everything that Coach Cav teaches, I don't think we really go outside of what he teaches us or what we do. It's not that because the opponent is where they are at and larger than who they are that we do something differently. I think everybody has their process and you should stick to your process. But the thing is, like you're saying, he has to clean it up to make sure we don't have those things and make sure that his jersey stays clean.
Without getting into specifics, did Oregon State show you some opportunities that can be exploited on Saturday?
Oregon State
because they played USC last
Oh,
week.
yeah. No, watching the game film. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, watching the game film. I believe I looked at the tackles. The tackles probably did some good things, and they did some things well. And obviously USC's defense stems a lot, and they try to get you off sides, and they do a lot of different things with the blitzes and the stunts we were talking about, and the turnovers and the sacks. So, yeah, it's a very well-coached defense, and they play very well. So we're just trying to do everything that we can do in our hands just to protect the quarterback and be able to run the ball efficiently.
Sorry if I missed this. What's been the mentality kind of coming off of that tough loss and trying to stay positive and regroup for another good team?
Keep going. Always keep going. I've been through worse than this. I don't know if you guys know specifically, but when I was playing for Penn State in 2020, we started off 0-5, and that was the worst start in Penn State's history ever. So I've been in a worse situation than this, and I feel like as a grown man in life, you're always going to face adversity, and we are a lot of guys, and we love each other, and we trust each other, and I feel like when you face an adversity in life, all you can do is keep pushing and keep going forward. You can't let things stomp you. So I think it's just always just throw your hat back on and go back to work the next day.
Do you try and lend that perspective to some of your teammates as well? Because a lot of them probably haven't been through as extreme of a drought as you mentioned in 2020 with Penn State. Is that something you kind of dawn on them and to let them know, like, hey, like, could be worse?
I mean, absolutely. Yeah, I've said that before, and I brought that up. And obviously it's not something easy, and going through a lot of pain and tears and just whatever. It's just like losing hurts. It's like you work so hard. You work from spring ball, you work in the summer, you work fall camp, you work your butt off, and nobody likes to lose. Everybody hates losing, and if you don't hate losing, you're a loser. So, no, that's facts.
I'm not sure if anyone's asked this specifically, but with Tui Peloto on the other side, obviously they have a good group of defensive linemen there overall, but what have you seen from him in terms of watching his film? Preparing, he might be lined up on your side, I'm not sure how often, but he's also one of the...
They do some very good things. They finesse with hands, obviously, bull rush, getting well around the bend, good inside move. But like you just said, yeah, obviously they do some things very well on that defensive line, both of the defensive end, and they have a very well coached, and they have good players on their defensive line.
They've shown a willingness to kind of pull out a D lineman at any given moment to sort of be in an under coverage and blitz some other guys. How have you guys sort of reconciled making sure that you are like communicating, making sure you guys know which guys on who?
Definitely, well, we do something in our meetings every day where we try to pick that up. Also, periods at practice where we try to work on stuff like that as well. So definitely that's very important, especially talking about this very well defense and how they have different things and they bring different blitzes. You definitely have to be sharp on that and you have to be on top of that.
Where are you guys at with that at this point? We're about several days away from game time.
I believe we're picking it up very well. I think we're doing good, and we just got to keep watching tape, keep doing what we know what to do, and like I said, stick to our process.
Mm-hmm.